Those are the 26 letters of the alphabet, and I'm going to show you how to draw cartoons using some of those letters. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Mike's Inspiration Station, the show that inspires your creativity. Drawing from letters is the fun way to learn how to draw. So what do you say we get started? I'll meet you at the pad. Hi, boys and girls. Hi, Mike. That sounds like fun. And did you know that the ancient Romans gave us 23 of the 26 letters of the alphabet? The other 3 letters were added during the Middle Ages. Very interesting, BT. Okay, now watch me as I draw a caveman from the letter R. I'm going to start out by making 2 round eyes. There. Let's put 2 smaller circles inside those circles. And 1 right there. Okay, alright, I'm going to make some hair on his head. So a curved line right there, another curved line, a curved line right there, another one, and another curved line. And 1 more right there, and another one there. And that's a little bit longer because we're making longer hairs now on our caveman. Look at that. If you look at the caveman's nose, it's actually part of the R. So the R helped us make the nose. The top part of the mouth was already done, so all I needed to do was do that smaller line for his mouth. Now let's make his beard. Just a series of straight lines like so. Some more straight lines for his beard. Look at that. And a curved line there, another curved line. Those are his fingers. Bring that line down and over. That's his elbow. And starting right here, bring this line down. So there's his arm bent, and he's holding a club. And a regular wavy line for his club. Now where it's hanging out beyond his fingers, that's the end of the club. The top of his sleeve right there. And there's the caveman's belly. The skin that he's wearing is all rough on the edge. Rough on the edges. Look at that. Two horizontal lines for his arm. A looping line for the thumb. Bring this line around for his finger. Another curved line right there. And 1 final curved line for the other finger. Now he's holding on to a funny looking creature, so I see a beak or a mouth, so let me draw that. It's some kind of little tiny prehistoric creature he's holding. A curved line right there, another curved line like so right there. And 2 dots for his eyes. He's funny looking. Alright, let's add some funny hair on his head. 2 hairs, in fact. We'll make a hand right there. He's squeezing this little creature, and his hands are hanging out like that. A looping curved line for his body. Let's draw a leg with 2 toes right there. Bring that line back up. Another leg with 2 toes. Bring that line up. Let's do the caveman's legs. I'll bring this line down and over and stop. Bring this line down and loop it around and stop. His knees are bent just like that. I'll draw his heel, bring this line over, now I'll make some toes. 3 toes, and the top of his foot and a big toe. Now the top of the other foot, bring that line over, and a big toe right there. And just bring that line down. The toes are kind of off where you can't see them. They're behind that toe. And a curved line for his knee. And another curved line. A wavy line to show he's standing on the ground. Now some bumps right there. A bumpy club. He sure looks funny. That was fun. Now, let's make something from the letter Z. Here is the letter Z. All right. What can I make? Starting right here, I'm going to bring this line down, bring it around, and stop right there. Let's see, what can I make? I think I see something. It's coming together. Can you guess what it is yet? Bring that line around and stop. Bring it over. Back out, back in, out again, and connect it. Aha! I think I see a frog. Yes, that's his stomach. Let's make another knee. Bring that line over and back down. There's his other leg. What is this frog doing? We'll see. Draw the other foot. There we go. Now I'll make these toes. Now starting right here, I'm going to bring this line over, and right here I'll bring this other line over like that. His arms are extended outward. Now I'll indicate a hand and some fingers right there. And the top of his arm. Now the top of the other arm. Good. Bring this line over. Now I'm going to draw some fingers on the end. Just like that. Bring that down and connect it. And there's the other side of his head. I love looking at letters, and I like to see what I can make out of them. It's a good exercise for your mind to get your creativity and your imagination flowing. 2 smaller circles for the inside of the eyes. Alright, let's make his mouth. There's a cheek right there. And let's bring this line all the way down and over. And there we have a smiling frog. 2 little slits for his nose. What is this frog doing? Well, what's a frog without spots? So let's put some little circles there to create spots. He must have spots. He's a frog. And look at that. What is he doing? Aha! That's the surfboard. So he's surfing. And now let's draw a big wave behind him. And the water is flowing. He's riding a wave. He's on a surfboard and he's riding the wave. All from the letter Z. Just some slight curved lines for the waves. Now some movement lines. Movement lines. They create action. Some more splashes where he's cutting through the waves. Look at that. Some large drops of water right there. One little wrinkle line right there. And there you have it. A frog from the letter Z. Let's move on to the next letter. The letter S. What can we make from the letter S? I think I see something already. I see a tail right there. So I'm going to curve this line all the way around. Keep going. And right here I'm going to stop. There. Can you see that? It's a tail. Nope. It's not a snake. I'll make this curved line right there and stop. I'll bring this line around and connect it right there. Look at that. Somebody said it looks like the back end of a cat. Good guess. Because you're right. And there's the shoulder. All right, now let's draw the cat's paws. I'll bring this line down. I'll bring this line down, starting right here, right to there. Bring this line over. Now loop it around for the front of his paw. There's one leg. Front legs are bent. He's laying down. All right, now for his chest. Bring it around and stop right there. Okay, let's draw his other arm. With a paw on the end. Some of you probably saw something different, didn't you? And that's good. It's whatever you see. When you look at a number or a letter or a scribble, whatever you see is what your imagination tells you. And my imagination told me this was a cat because I saw that tail part and I immediately said, it looks like a cat. All right, that's his neck. Let's work on the cat's head. Curve line like so for the side of the cat's head. Another one just like that. Look at that. Alrighty. Right here I'm going to make an ear. One ear there. Finish the top of his head. And now another ear. He's sitting down in a comfortable position. And a cheek right there. And another curved line for the other cheek. Okay, now right between these two lines, let's put a happy smile. I like happy faces. A small V shape right there. And connect it like so. A slight curved line underneath his nose. One curved line and another one on top. A small curved line and another one on top for his eyes. Three dots for whiskers. 1, 2, 3. And another wrinkle line right there. Now I'm going to draw some whisker hairs. A small wrinkle line by his tail. Now I'm going to draw some horizontal lines to indicate that he's resting on something. It could be a windowsill. Bring that line over. Bring this line down and bring it all the way over and stop. Then I'll continue this line all the way over and bring it up. And there's our happy cat perched on a windowsill. Very nice. Okay, let's create something from the letter Y. All right, something from the letter Y. I think I see something already. Bring this line up and around and back down and stop. Put that curved line right there and fill it in. It looks like a nostril or a nose, doesn't it? Bring that line over. Okay, it's the front of a horse. I see what I'm going to make now. I can see it already. It's a unicorn. Some of you already guessed that, didn't you? A curved line there for the horse's cheek. Now bring that line down and curve it around and stop. And bring this long curved line down for the bottom of his neck. Let's put some hair on the top of the unicorn's head like so. Another line, bring it down and connect it. Now for his mane, I'm going to make a series of looping lines to show the folds in his mane. Looping lines, loop it around. I'm drawing some very gentle looping lines to create a very puffy, fluffy look. Starting right here, I'll bring this line up for his ear and back down. Now for the other one, bring another line up and back down. Okay, this part of the Y will be his horn, the unicorn's horn. Just extend this line out and bring it back down. Now these lines will create the spiral effect on the unicorn's horn. There. That completes the unicorn's horn. Let's work on his eye. A slight curved line right there. Now another one for the front of his eye. And now for the bottom of his eye. And this line is his pupil. And I'll just color it in, leaving a highlight. Look at that. Let's finish the horse's mane. All right, starting right there, let's bring that line down. Another one to connect it. Look at that. Take a look at the letters in the alphabet and see how many cartoons or drawings that you can make out of letters. Drawing from letters or numbers is a great mental exercise. It's kind of like problem solving. The problem is, what can I make out of that letter? And these looping lines will make his mane look full and very fluffy. Now a small line just to show a slight fold near his cheek. Now a very small curved line right above his eye. And here's another small curved line right at the edge of the unicorn's mouth. This line will complete the inside of the horse's ear. I'll do the same to the other ear on the other side. There it is, a unicorn from the letter Y. That was awesome. All right, let's make something from the letter X. What can I make from the letter X? Let me start out by putting a curved line right here at the top of the X. And that part looks like a nostril or a nose. What do I see? Let's draw this line here. And I'll draw another one just like that. I know, I'll make a hound dog from this letter X. Bring that line over. I'll make the side of the dog's head. There's the other side of the dog's head. Well, all right, let me make his eyes. Hound dogs have droopy eyes. One curved line there and another one next to it. One curved line here for the bottom of his eye and another curved line for the other part of his eye. Two black dots for his pupils. Some hairs on top of his head. He looks like he's surprised to see me. One eyebrow there and another eyebrow on the other side. 2 lines from underneath his eyes. Now I'll draw his bottom jaw. Alright, let's see here. Alright, now I'm going to draw his eyelids. Just 2 slight curved lines. And 1 long looping line for one ear. And another long looping line for another ear. He looks pretty good. Let's draw his body. 2 lines for his neck. And a curved line for his shoulder. Continue that line down, bring it over. Just some small looping lines to create his paws. Bring it around and stop. Now let's do another one. There's his front paw there. That's part of his arm. His arm is bent. A little fold line right there. Alright, that's part of his chest. That's the other part. Alright, let's bring that line down. That's the other part of his arm. He's resting his paw on his arm like that. He's going to be lying down. Alright, let's do the back end of the dog. A curved line like that. Now that hind leg, the top of the hind leg, and bring that line down. Bring this line down and over. There's his hind leg. It's really exciting when you look at the letter and you don't know what it's going to be, and then you start adding some lines and all of a sudden you see something. And there's his hind paw. Another fold line. Another fold line there and there. He has droopy skin, the hound dog. And his tail right there. Some hairs on the end of that tail. Bring it around and connect it. Good. Let's make a collar. A curved line there. And another curved line right there. That was neat. I must say, boys and girls, drawing using letters was amazing fun. I'll bet you can't guess how many words are in the Bible. I don't know, BT. A lot? Funny, Mike. There are 774,746 words in the Bible. Very interesting. Okay, boys and girls, thank you for watching today's show. I hope it inspired you to practice and do more drawings using letters. Till next time, may God bless you and fill you with His words. So long.